Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the LR Prime Battle Tien and how you can get him in DBZ Dokkan battle. So this is Howl, the last tri-beam, and basically it's a pretty standard Prime Battle event. I think if you've done a Prime Battle event before you should probably be familiar with it by now. But yes, basically I think most people will understand the concept of a Prime Battle. You get a unit from stage 1, you receive his medals to awaken him into a TUR from stage 2, and you receive a second set of medals to awaken him to LR from stage 3. You need 15 of the medals to get him to stage 2, and you need 777 of the medals to get him to the LR state. Otherwise, other than that, pretty standard affair. As always, I suggest that you farm just the base copy of a unit. So don't farm the second copy, don't use Kai's to get his SA to 20. A campaign will come out which will have boosted rates, boosted drop rates, reduced stamina, and you can use that as an opportunity to farm the whole unit, or you can use it as an opportunity to farm the second copy that you need to awaken him to an LR state. If you need to know anything else about Prime Battles, you can see my video in the top right hand corner that I'll link or have already linked. It'll teach you everything you know about Prime Battles, how to farm them, etc. But yeah, basically to do a Prime Battle you have to use units that drop from stages. Now a great team to do this is the Ginyu Force team, but the team I like using is the Pure Saiyans team. So Pure Saiyans is just a great team to utilize. Mainly because you have the whole Team Bardock team, so it makes life a lot easier, at least for me, to have 6 units already available under a lead. You can use the Prime Battle Vegeta as a friend lead, you can use any Pure Saiyans Vegetas out there as friend leads. Pure Saiyans just feels a lot easier to run with the amount of leads, rather than Ginyu Force. You usually rely on like an AGL Ginyu Force or AGL Captain Ginyu to be the friend lead, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. You can use Goku, you can use Prime Battle Vegeta, you can use a ton of units. So the first stage you're going to farm the LR INT Prime Battle Tien. Big thing about him, you're going to need to essentially farm 14 copies. So you need 1 copy that's your base copy, 9 copies to get his SA to 10, and then 4 copies for his hidden potential system. That's it, that's everything you need from the first stage, so farm 14 copies. Stage will drop 1 stone, all the stock standard stuff. Stage is also only 1 fight long, so nothing too crazy to consider here, all fairly stock standard situation. Now Tien himself is a Saiyan Saga category lead of 130%, which is pretty cool. He causes some huge damage while also sacrificing HP, which is kind of fitting of his character. In terms of his passive, that's where things get a little bit interesting, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, basically for Tien, the last tri-beam, etc., I think he's a pretty cool unit. I'm going to skip ahead here to where I farm the 14 copies, and then you're going to see me feed those 14 copies in and open up his hidden potential system. So you're going to do that before you go on to the next stage, and you're going to see me do that now. In terms of his passive, he's got Ki +3 for 10 turns from the start of turn, Ki +3 for 10 turns when facing an extreme class enemy. He has attack and defense of 103,000, plus an additional attack and defense of 103,000 with each attack performed, up to a max of 103,000, so you only gain it once. He launches an additional super attack when HP is 80% or more, launches an additional attack when HP is 50% or more, medium chance to perform a critical hit when launching a ultra super attack when HP is 50% or more, and great chance to perform a critical hit when launching an ultra super attack when HP is 50% or less. He also has Ki +10 when HP is 30% or less. So obviously you can see he's got quite a HP tight passive. He's basically designed to be a pretty good damage dealer, which I think is pretty stock standard, with the medium chance to crit, all the additionals, the great chance to crit when health is low, the Ki. He's basically designed to be just kind of this burst damage DPS unit, which makes sense when you consider just how what the Tien's based on. He's based on the tri-beam that he did when Chaozu was obviously sacrificing himself, so that kind of gave him like a little bit more impetus, and he basically went and did these huge tri-beams and yeah, try to cause some huge damage to Nappa. Obviously, beyond that, there are some really cool things about him. He does have the ability to cause ultimate damage to the enemy, gives himself ki plus 10 and 30% defense for 1 turn on his active skill, which can be activated when HP is 50% or less, starting from the 4th turn of battle. So I think he looks really cool. I think he's quite fun. Being a Saiyan Saga lead is also pretty interesting. Obviously, as a unit, he actually links pretty well with the Tien LR, I believe, the Chaozu and Tien LR. I think they link pretty well together, so that's something that's going to be pretty interesting to see as a pairing. So that'll be cool. As always, I think it's great that we get new pairing partners. Once you've awakened Tien, you're going to move on to the 2nd stage. In the 2nd stage, you are going to, you are basically going to essentially, how can I say, like, you are going to essentially need to farm 15 medals to awaken him to his TUR state, and then from there you can awaken him to his LR state. So the medal grinds are just, they are what they are. You have to use your stamina and just try and push through and farm more medals. There's no boost right now, no team bonus, so that obviously is, it is what it is, basically. You can't use any Oolong support memories or any Krillin support memories or Vegeta and Bulma support memories to try and boost your bonus stage chance. So yeah, you're going to see me awaken the unit, of course, as one does. And then once he's awakened, you can start working on his LR medals by doing the final stage. As you can see, you're going to need 777, which is quite a lot. It is quite a fair amount. So just be aware of that. And yeah, other than that, it's all pretty stock standard stuff. The final stage is pretty straightforward. It is pretty simple. So it shouldn't be anything too shocking or too crazy. And you should be pretty much good to go. I think overall, when you look at Prime Battles, they are a very simple system. I like Prime Battle LRs. They're not really the craziest. Like they're not ever the top unit in the game, but they do really help out new players. They are super easy to grind and farm, and I just think overall they are worth the time, even if it is just to have an interesting unit. And with the kind of SA effects that Tien has, I think it's pretty cool. Now obviously, as mentioned before, he does have a pretty cool linking unit in the form of Tien and Chaozu. They've got Crane School as a link, Don Ray as a link, and Solid Support as a link. Or no, Shocking Speed, Z Fighters, all pretty good stuff. A lot of these are some pretty strong kind of links as well, so that does tend to help out, for the most part. Sharing the limit legendary power, so a lot of great links there, which I think is really awesome. And yeah, just overall, pretty good stuff. It's going to be interesting to see just how hard Tien can hit as a unit. So yeah, will be pretty fun to see what happens. But yeah, overall, I think the stage itself is pretty simple. You can just use Team Bardock, you can use the Ginyu Force, you can use whatever. You can use Otherworld Warriors, you can use whatever you want. Just make sure you can find a adequate enough lead, and you should be able to grind it out. And then once you start the LR middle ground, just keep grinding. Use your boosts, use whatever you can, grind it. Don't feel too scared, just basically go at it, use your stamina. You don't really need to use meat, just depends on how earnestly you want Tien. But yeah, and you can always farm a second copy up to SA10 and feed that one as well, but it will require you to grind the LR medals again and the TUR medals again. I highly suggest you do this grind when the event comes back for its LR celebration campaign. That's going to be a lot easier to do. And yeah, so you may not be able to use Tien for a while, but I think it will definitely help you out. But yeah, that's basically going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.